Hello LTU fans, and thanks for joining me today on the LTU Sports Report. I'm your host, Dylan Morello. The Sports Report is presented by Lawrence Technological University, and we are sponsored by Henry Ford Sports Medicine. So on this show coming up, we continue on with the season recaps for your favorite LTU teams. Here on this episode, we take a fine comb on the LTU women's soccer team season. A team that went 6-6-1 overall, a ton of individual accolades as well, but we start here with this year's opening practice report.
We stopped practicing when spring break came, so in early March. And after we had this idea to implement families, so our team is split up into 5 different families, and there's like 4 to 5 to 6 people on each family. So we made it kind of a competition. So we just really focused on running fitness tests, running for fun, FaceTiming each other, and just doing things like that to stay in contact and hold each other accountable through the off season.
Because it's been so different, we haven't had as many two-a-days, but it's still a lot of work on our bodies. So it's basically just taking care, having the time off, and not being afraid to ask upperclassmen questions, whether it's about classes or just stuff to do around the area.
First thing I'll address is playing with masks. It's definitely difficult to breathe, but we're getting through it. And today we got these gaiters, so we're really excited for those because it's definitely easier to breathe. And then we have a lot of great freshmen that came in. We have 8 freshmen in all different kinds of positions, and they look really good so far. So we're really excited to see how they can impact our team. I think overall, everyone's just really excited to be together, and we're happy to be back on the field. We feel very lucky to be here, and we're definitely taking advantage of that.
I think the enthusiasm first day was very different. Nobody had really kicked a ball for months and months, and not as a group. So that was a little different, but even in the second practice, you could see there was a different level of intensity. People starting to get to know each other. As I say, we're trying to build it nice and slowly and have some fun with it. Different kind of pressure than we would have in previous years, just a slower build. But so far, what we've seen has been great. We've got some good returning players. We've got some very eager freshmen and a lot of talent in between. So we're excited.
We're so happy. We're looking forward to our first game. We already know it's probably going to be on October 1st. So we're just counting down the days. We're trying to get as much practice in as we can and really just focus on winning the first 7 games that we're going to see this fall and then carrying that over into the spring.
Being back with everyone was really excited. I haven't seen them since March. It was good just to see them in person and to be able to touch a ball again and play with all your friends. It was so great.
My name's DAHLIA JEROVSEK. I play soccer and I'm a sophomore. My favorite TV show is The Office because, it's hilarious and everyone loves it, so it's kind of hard not to. My favorite music artist is Luke Combs. I just love him. My favorite superhero would have to be Batman because he's kind of cute. My favorite animal is a dog because I love mine very much.
In a year filled with unpredictable times, sports have found their way back to Lawrence Tech, and tonight the women's soccer team takes the field for the first time this season in an exhibition match versus Corktown AFC at Blue Devil Stadium. Well, the weather certainly played a role in this game, but that didn't stop the sensational sophomore Deanna Hill, who finds the back of the net for the first goal of the game. However, the celebration would not last long as Corktown would strike right back less than 45 seconds later, knotting the game at a 1 apiece heading into the second half. Coming back from the break about 10 minutes into the final 45, Corktown launched a long-range strike that snuck underneath the crossbar and found the back of the net to take a 2-1 lead. Well, Lawrence Tech was on their heels for the majority of the second half, and after an energetic first half, the Blue Devils would go on to drop this one 5-1. Lawrence Tech will kick off their 2020 campaign versus Adrian College at 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 3rd, right here at Blue Devil Stadium.
We were trying out some new people and some new places, so kind of getting the groove of that, like getting a solid back line and a solid midfield, so that's kind of good. We learned that we need to press higher in the midfield so they don't get some shots from far out, things like that.
To number one, it is a lot of fun playing competitive soccer, much more fun than training. Some little things that we can improve on organizationally. Second half, we kind of let that game get away from us a little bit. We allowed them too many shots from distance. Three of the goals they scored were very, very similar. As ever, some good, some bad, but more good than bad.
My name's Madison GREENLEE. I'm a 5th-year senior and I play women's soccer. My favorite TV show is probably Dead to Me because it's just so funny and there's so many plot twists. It's like super addicting. I think I watched it in like one day. My favorite artist is probably Morgan Wallen. I gotta love the mullet. Like he's very attractive and his music is just so good. My favorite vacation spot is probably Southern California. My aunt and my cousins live there and every time we go it's just like such a great time.
After the first game of the season versus Adrian College was canceled, the Lawrence Tech women's soccer team returns to the Blue Devil Stadium to face Corktown AFC. These two teams saw each other just a few short weeks ago, and after a tight first half, it was all Corktown in the second. But enough of the past, the Blue Devils are living in the present and they look to get a win under their belt. Let's find out. Jumping midway through the first half, the redshirt senior Lauren Wozniak finds the back of the net off of an assist from sophomore Deanna Hill. Wozniak is back this season after having hip surgery, so congratulations to her on her first goal of the season. Lawrence Tech would lead 1-0 heading into the break. And coming back from the break, the Blue Devils would take command of this game, only allowing 3 shots on goal from the opponents. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one with the final score of 1-0.
It felt really good to score. It really just came from the ball from Maddie B. I was pretty excited to see her play that ball.
Yes, one of those weeks where the things that we talked about in practice really seemed to pay off. We talked on Monday and Tuesday a lot about just pressing them more, giving them less space and less time, trying to block more shots, trying to deny more crosses, just kind of getting away more. And I saw a lot of examples of that.
The first win of the season is always an extremely exciting time, and to be a part of the team and be able to contribute just to the whole game itself is a great feeling. I feel like we all played really well together, and that's what contributed to the win.
I'm Lindsay SCHUPBACH. I'm a redshirt junior and I play on the women's soccer team. My favorite TV show is The Office because every time I watch it, I still laugh at all the episodes. Even though I've seen them like thousands of times, I still laugh at all the jokes. My celebrity crush is Zac Efron. I don't know, I've just always had posters of him on my wall since I was little. I just think he's hot. My favorite superhero is Batman, just because that's the one I know the most about, I guess. I don't know that many of them. My favorite artist is Morgan Wallen, just because I love country music and he's written a lot of good country music songs.
It's an exciting day here at Blue Devil Stadium as the Lawrence Tech women's soccer team takes on the Grey Wolves of Lourdes University. The Grey Wolves have an 0-3 record and are yet to score their first goal in the season, but it's a different story for the Blue Devils, who look to start their season off 2-0 after a 1-0 win at Indiana Tech to kick off the season last weekend. However, the Blue Devils weren't totally satisfied with that win, and our very own Jenna Rose spoke with Lawrence Tech head coach Andy Richards prior to the game, and here's what he had to say.
Coach, on Saturday, you and the coaching staff weren't necessarily satisfied with your 1-0 win. What are you looking to change in today's game?
We thought we could have performed better. We struggled first half, scored an early goal in the second. I thought that was going to get us going, and we never really capitalized on that. But matched that with intensity. That's a difficult balance sometimes. You want to be intense, but you want to have calmness in your mind. So just a better performance all around.
In a highly anticipated WAC matchup, let's find out if the Blue Devils can pull off the win. Starting in the first half, the freshman Jenny Deere puts Lawrence Tech on the board first after she threads the ball through 2 defenders to find the back of the net. Blue Devils lead 1-0 early in the first. Later on in the first half, sophomore Deanna Hill fakes out her defender and blasts the ball in for Lawrence Tech's second goal of the game. LTU now has a 2-0 lead. Still in the first half, the Blue Devils are rolling, and it would be the freshman standout Deere once again who comes up big as she takes the ball from the midfield all the way home for her second goal of the game to give the Blue Devils a 3-0 lead. However, Lourdes would go on to score their first goal of the season, but the Grey Wolves were no match for Lawrence Tech. LTU would go on to win this one with a final score of 3-1, bringing their overall record to 2-0 on the season, and we have Jenna Rose on the sideline with Jenny Deere.
Thank you, Jason. Jenny, coming off of last week's win, Coach Anderson Richard shared that he wasn't too happy with the quality of the performance. How has that changed in today's game?
I think the team just as a whole is working together a lot better. We're moving off each other. We're able to read each other's runs and passes. Just overall as a team, we're combining together. Our chemistry is a lot better.
My name is Rebekah Holbrook. I'm a senior and I'm in women's soccer. My favorite TV show is The Office, and it's very funny. I've watched it 5 times. My favorite musical artist is Post Malone, and he gets me hyped for soccer games. My favorite vacation spot is Treasure Island in Florida, because I've been there twice with my best friend. My favorite animal is an elephant because they're super cute. My favorite activity is hammocking, and because it's really relaxing and it's nice to watch the sunset too.
We're here at Blue Devil Stadium as Lawrence Tech women's soccer team has a much-anticipated WAC matchup versus the undefeated Cornerstone Eagles. The Blue Devils are coming off an impressive 3-1 win over Lourdes and look to extend their win streak to 3. The last time these two teams met, the Blue Devils knocked the Eagles out of the playoffs. Can the Blue Devils now hand the Eagles their first loss of the season? Let's find out. Starting in the first half, the Blue Devils would get out to an early start as freshman Jenny Deere would find the Highland, Michigan native REBEKAH Holbrook, who races down the field and finds the back of the net for the first point of the game. Lawrence Tech takes an early 1-0 lead. Later on in the first half, the Eagles would get their golden opportunity as they would respond with a goal of their own to tie the game at 1 apiece heading into the break. Coming back from the half, each team would fire off a number of shots on goal in an attempt to take the lead. However, neither team would score in the second half. This game will be going into double overtime. This game would go on to end in a tie with both teams scoring 1 goal apiece. Lawrence Tech record moves to 2-1 on the season.
We knew they were going to be out for blood, so we made sure that we were putting all our effort in, and although we didn't get the win, we still were able to get a tie out of it, which is still great.
We worked really hard today. You know, last game we struggled a bit, but we really brought it today, and Doug's comment before the game was to dominate, so I really think that we tried our best to do that and won a lot of the ball.
We're back inside the Ultimate Soccer Arena in Pontiac, Michigan. This time, it's Lawrence Tech's women's soccer team taking on the Warriors of Rochester. LTU has not lost a game in conference play and looks to keep it that way against the 1-2 Warriors. Getting things underway in the first half is sophomore sensation Jenny Deere, who finds the back of the net after the penalty kick. LTU up 1-0. Moving along in the half, just 2 minutes later, here's freshman Jessie Koji, who blasts the ball from way out to put the Blue Devils up 2-0 on the Warriors. Lawrence Tech would take a 2-0 lead into the break. Coming out of the break, Lawrence Tech would take things up a notch, and it would be the sophomores Diana Hill to DAHLIA JEROVSEK to put the Blue Devils up 3-0. About 12 minutes later, here's senior Rebekah Holbrook with the corner kick, and it rolls right to Koji for her second goal of the game. LTU now up 4-0 on the Warriors. Later on, here's another corner kick, and it's Koji with her third goal and the hat trick. Lawrence Tech is rolling here inside the Ultimate Soccer Arena as they take a 5-0 lead late into the second half. Capping things off for the Blue Devils is senior Lauren Wozniak, who butts the ball in to give the Blue Devils a 6-point lead over the Warriors. Lawrence Tech would go on to shut the Warriors out with a final score of 6-0. The Blue Devils move to 3-0-1 on the season.
My first hat trick is actually very exciting. I have a great group of girls with me cheering me on the whole time. Honestly, I love this team, and I'm very happy that I scored my first hat trick.
I feel really blessed to be able to get this goal. This is the first time starting since I had hip surgery back in October of last year. A team like this where we're up 5-0, that last goal, you just have to take your chances. So I knew the keeper was starting off her line a lot, so I just decided to flick it on and hope for the best. Usually we play Rochester inside, so this was really different playing in pretty cold weather, but I think it just motivated us to run more, run harder, stay warm, and keep in the game.
We're back at Blue Devils Stadium, but this time it's the Lawrence Tech women's soccer team taking on the Concordia Cardinals. Picked to finish 6th in the WAC, the Blue Devils have defied the odds this fall season as they have yet to lose a game. Can they end their fall season undefeated? Let's find out.
Starting in the first half, the Blue Devils strike quickly as freshman Jesse Koji finds the back of the net to put LTU up 1-0. Senior goalkeeper Rebekah Mendo's excellent blocks would keep the Cardinals scoreless in the first. Lawrence Tech would take a 1-0 lead going into the half. Coming back from the break, it would be the sophomore Jenny Deere who flies down the field and puts the ball in the back of the net off a beautiful pass from sophomore Deanna Hill. LTU goes up 2-0 midway through the second. The game is not over, however, as Concordia's Kiera Savage would score the lone goal for the Cardinals. Lawrence Tech would hold on to the lead, winning this one 2-1.
We honestly just were talking, making sure 14 was one of their really good players, so we just made sure we knew where she was. And obviously getting the blocks in and talking, and that's kind of what helped us through it.
Given the circumstances, we put a lot of time and energy into preseason, and we really capitalized on the opportunity that we had to play early on. And we had 2 months almost of practice until our first game, and I think that really just helped us create the chemistry that we needed to go on and place first in the fall season. I'm very sad. My season was cut a little short, but I'm really blessed to be a part of this team for the past 4.5 years, and I love these girls more than anything.
So, Coach, 4-0-1 was the record through the fall portion of the season. No losses. They were just the one tie with Cornerstone. In your mind, how do you assess what's been a really good start so far to this 2021 season?
Yeah, excellent. I mean, we really couldn't have asked for more. When we sat down before a ball was kicked, we felt pretty confident that we could get a result out of everyone. In our dreams, we hoped for 5-0 and we came pretty close. So I think looking back, you go, well, the Cornerstone was the one we didn't get. And I know in overtime we had plenty of chances to have done that. But I also remember the second half of that game being pretty scared because they seemed to be all over us. So in truth, what we expected. I think the Concordia one was one that we felt was going to be the biggest challenge of the other games. And luckily we came out the right side of that one.
Again, 4-0-1 after the fall portion of the season. Not many people expected that. They had you picked to finish 6th to end the season. Now as you venture into the spring portion in a few months here, where do you see your team headed now sitting atop the conference at 4-0-1?
Well, first of all, I kind of like that we were ranked as 6th because I think that served as good motivation for us, I think. As far as the spring goes, I mean, obviously we've put ourselves in the best possible position of anybody in the conference right now. We have the most points. We've played some games, so our spring is not going to be as hectic as the 4 or 5 schools who've not played a game yet. So their spring is going to be really hectic. Ours is going to be very busy, but not quite to that level. And we all know that you get a couple of injuries here and there, or even kids are out just for a week or 10 days, and that could mean 2 or 3 games missed in the conference for other programs. Hopefully we can get fit and healthy, and hopefully we've had a lot of injuries in the fall. Hopefully that bad karma's behind us and we can stay healthy in the spring. I think we're in a great position. If we can get to the tournament final and onto the national tournament, we will be absolutely delighted.
And when it comes to this interesting break between the fall and spring season, what is the message to your players right now when it comes to the preparation for what will be the final stretch and hopefully, as you mentioned, a championship run?
Yeah, I mean, just don't take too much of a break. I mean, it'd be easy, I think, in these 3 months to let fitness go by the way. Our plan is to make sure we're on top of that. Coach Whiting has already sent out a lifting program to the team for the winter break, so that's good. We're going to be talking to them about our expectations in terms of running and staying fit. We also plan on watching some games with our players in small groups, either games we've played or other games, and just keeping focused on what we're doing. It is a long break, but like I say, we've got points in the bag. I would always rather have the points than the games in hand. So I think we're in a great position, but it's just don't let down. Don't waste this opportunity and don't throw away all the hard work we've put in over the last 3 or 4 months.
Well, Andy, you guys have been incredibly exciting to watch so far. Can't wait for the spring portion of the season to roll around here. Just a few months until that happens. Until then, thank you again. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jason, as always.
We're going to step aside for a water and commercial break to hear from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere because we have more breathtaking goals when we come back.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back in the LTU Sports Report. A lot of game footage already in the show. We have some more waiting for you, as well as some get-to-know segments.
The undefeated Lawrence Tech women's soccer team is back in action against the Trinity Christian Trolls after 104 days off. Before the game, our very own Sarah Davis spoke with Blue Devils head coach Andy Reid on what he's expecting from his team.
We just talked about it's been 104 days since your guys' last game. What are you hoping to see from the team tonight?
We just talked about it before the game, trying to pick up where we left off. We know it's been a long time, but we've always had that in our mind. We always knew this was coming, so it's not like it's a surprise, you know. Just try and find our feet as fast as we possibly can, try and pick up where we left off and find some rhythm. We got this game and next Friday's game, and then we start conference again, so great opportunity for us all.
And what words of encouragement did you give the girls before today's game?
Well, as usual, Coach Doug, and I have to give him a shout out, otherwise he gets upset. He sent a motivational video out this morning, hopefully try and get everyone fired up, just, you know, again, not taking opportunities and working hard and making sure we're up for the battle.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
The Blue Devils were on fire before the break, scoring 14 goals and allowing just 2 goals so far on the season. On the flip side, the Trolls have been a consistently good team over the course of the last few years. With some key players out for the Blue Devils, can Lawrence Tech pull out the win? Starting in the first half, the high-pressure defense by the Trolls bothered the Blue Devils, and they would struggle to get quality shots off. Halfway through the first half, the Trolls would score the first goal of the game. The Blue Devils would be down 1-0 at the half. Coming back from the break, there's a switch at goalie for the Blue Devils as senior REBEKAH Almondos enters the game. However, that would not stop the rhythm of the Trolls as they would go on to score 2 more goals. Lawrence Tech would fail to score for the first time this season and would drop this one 3-0 the final. Here's Sarah Davis back on the sideline with senior Laura Silverman.
All right, 2 weeks from today, you guys are going to play Uno. What's the mindset entering into this week?
Well, you know, going into this week, we got to learn from the mistakes that we made today. We need to keep possession a little more, which is something we're working on in practices. So going into Uno, we're ready to play, we're ready to win, make history on that. You know, we're just looking to play hard, work hard.
And what do you guys as a team hope to accomplish for the remainder of the season?
You know, we're looking to play in the top seed there. We haven't lost a game yet in the league, so that's really awesome, and we're looking to keep it that way.
All right. Well, great job tonight.
My name is Emily Williams. I am class of 2024 and I play women's soccer. My favorite TV show is The Office because I think it's really funny and it's really easy to binge watch. My favorite vacation spot is probably Cancun because it's really pretty and warm there. My favorite superhero is Deadpool because he's super funny. My favorite animal is a cat because I think they're super cute and they just make me happy.
The Lawrence Tech women's soccer team is looking to get back on track as they take on the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene. This season, Lawrence Tech sits on top of the WAC after going undefeated in conference play before the break. The Blue Devils, who is without the sensational sophomore Jenny Deere, who leads the team in goals, failed to score for the first time this season. With Deere back in the lineup, will LTU come out victorious? Starting in the first half, both teams would struggle to get shots off on goal until the Cougars kick one to the back of the net for the first goal of the game. But fret not. The Blue Devils would come right back and tie it up at 1. And it would be the captain, Lauren Wozniak, who got the job done, netting her second goal of the season. The game knotted up at 1 apiece late in the first half. However, Lawrence Tech would trail 1-2 at the half. Coming back from the break, we'll jump to the end of the half where the Cougars looked to put a stamp on this one. And they would go, scoring the final goal of the game with just 4 minutes left. Lawrence Tech would drop this one 3-1 as the final.
Hi, I'm Jordan Courier. I'm year of 2024 and I play women's soccer. My favorite TV show is The Office because it's fun to just watch and get a laugh. My favorite vacation spot would be Los Cabos, Mexico, and I went over the summer. It was such a great time with my family. My favorite animal would be a dog, and I have a little Pomeranian Yorkie at home.
The Lawrence Tech women's soccer team is back in action at Blue Devils Stadium. LTU has struggled to find the back of the net since coming back from the pandemic break, only scoring 1 goal in their last 2 games. However, the Blue Devils have dominated in the WAC, giving up just 3 goals so far in WAC play. Can their dominance continue here tonight? Starting in the first half, it was all Blue Devils, and it would be the captain herself, Laura Silverman, who nets the first goal of the game just 2 minutes in. Lawrence Tech takes an early 1-0 lead. Later on in the first, it will be the young phenomenon Jenny Deere who nets the next 2 goals of the game, giving Lawrence Tech a commanding 3-0 lead going into the break. Coming back from the half, the onslaught would continue as freshman Andrea Williams scores her first career goal as a Blue Devil. Coming right behind her will be the Ann Arbor native Deanna Hill, blasting one to the back of the net for one of her 2 goals on the day. With an all-around team effort, Lawrence Tech would run away with this one, winning 7-1 the final. Deere would lead the Blue Devils, scoring 3 goals on the day, ending her day with a hat trick.
It's a great feeling, but all thanks to my teammates. The passes we make, the runs that people make that open up gaps for me, and just the communication overall is what I think is what leads us to our goals.
We had a lot of pent-up energy. We were anticipating this game. We were looking excited for it, anticipating it. After 2 losses, the team was getting a little down and we really needed to win. So after 1 goal went in, the rest just kind of came.
I'm Andrea Williams. I'm year of 2024 and I play women's soccer. Right now, my favorite TV show is probably The Vampire Diaries because I've been binge watching it with my mom and it's kind of our show, so I really like watching it with her. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man because I always do the Spidey jump with my friends. It's kind of our thing, so I don't really have any other reason than that. We have all the movies. My favorite animal is a bear, like a polar bear or a black bear. I don't know, I think they're really cute and cuddly. They're not even cuddly, they're mean, but it's fine. Outside of soccer, my favorite activity is making mac and cheese because it's my favorite food in the whole world.
The Lawrence Tech women's soccer team took the pitch this past Saturday to take on the Madonna Crusaders. LTU is looking to stay undefeated at Blue Devils Stadium, while on the other hand, the Crusaders were looking not only for their first win of the season, but also their first goal. And they would get their first tally just 7 minutes into the game, coming off the foot of Megan Vernon. Just over 3.5 minutes later, LTU would come right back as Jessie Koji gets awarded a free kick from way downtown. She capitalized on that opportunity for her 5th goal of the year. Score now knotted up at 1 apiece. The play flow after that point was all in Madonna's favor as Nicolette Voltaggio will break down the field with teammates finishing off the play, capturing the lead 2-1 heading into halftime. The second half would stay much the same as LTU would only be able to register 1 shot compared to the Crusaders' 8 in the final 45 minutes.
less than 10 minutes left, Mary Filomena would add the insurance marker for Madonna. Madonna would go on to win their first game of the season by a final score of 3-1. Women's soccer was back in action at Blue Devils Stadium, facing off against IU Kokomo. This match was also a ceremonial one for two Blue Devils seniors in Caitlin Mather and Madison Greenley. Both unfortunately are dealing with injuries, so weren't able to get into the game, but Coach Richards, with a great gesture, let Mather get a ceremonial start and was subbed out afterward. LTU would like to congratulate both players for a great career on and off the field at Lawrence Tech. We will miss talking about your amazing plays as well as all of your beautiful goals. On to the action now. LTU coming into this one 1-4 in their last 5 games, looking to get back in the win column, and they start off strong just 14 minutes in, busting down the field. The cross comes into the box and finds Diana Hill for the header. LTU up 1-0 at the half. 15 minutes lapse in the second half. Stepping into the corner for the set piece is Madison Bologna. She strikes the ball and beautifully curves it into the back corner for the highlight reel goal. LTU up a pair. LTU storming right back just a couple minutes later. The throw-in comes from Anna Lewis as Jenny Deere plays the give and go with Lauren Wozniak. She gets it back and rips it past the netminder, adding another tally to the LTU lead. A tough challenge in the box for LTU leads to a penalty kick for the Cougars. Mackenzie Gibbons steps up and makes no mistake, depositing it into the back of the cage, ruining the shutout bid and making the score 3-1. The Blue Devils don't let the taste of that goal last, as just 50 seconds later, Hill and Wozniak connect again. This time it's reversed with Wozniak getting the tally. LTU snaps their 2-game losing streak with the final score of 4-1.
I'm McKenna White. I'm the year 2024 and I play women's soccer. My favorite TV show is The Office because I love Michael Scott and he's really funny. My favorite kind of animal is a penguin because they live in the South Pole and I think that's pretty cool. My celebrity crush is Michael B. Jordan because I liked when he starred in Black Panther. My favorite vacation spot is South Africa because when I went there I got to see a bunch of different animals and I thought that was pretty great. My favorite musical artist is J. Cole because I think he raps about real life stuff and I think he's really inspirational.
That's a close on this year's LTU Women's Soccer Season Rewind. A great year for the team where they look to once again build off of their success and come back even stronger. So our episode has come to a close. I'm your host, Dylan Morello, and make sure to follow LTU Athletics on social media for more videos, photos, and articles. You can also listen to our Blue Devils in-depth podcast on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you next time on the LTU Sports Report.